crying. I've been watching Speed's streams, and I'm seeing all the love that he's getting in Angola. He's in South Africa, and he's getting massive amount of love. And the way that he was treated in Europe was disgusting. But to see him be a black man from the United States of African descent and be able to go back to the continent and be treated like a human.
Greetings and welcome to Auntie Yami channel. For many years, Americans believed that Africa had no proper houses, no cars, no roads, and no real infrastructure. Some even thought that Africans, all of them, they live in huts. And some still thinks about that all huts are everywhere. But what really happened for Americans to come out there and start apologizing and start crying, asking Africans to forgive them, and even some are planning to travel to Africa? This is because of IshowSpeed, who is visiting to date African countries, and I understand he is in Zambia and has been showing everything they thought they knew was completely exposed. What do you think about that? Oh my God. It's because of the press. Before we go further, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And let's listen to these apologies, my fellow Africans, where you are. Apologies, and even some of them are so surprised that, wow, is that South Africa? Is that Zimbabwe? Is that Zambia? Is that Angola? Is that Rwanda? You name it, etc., etc. Let's listen to their apologies.
Y'all probably wondering why I'm crying. I've been watching Speed's streams, and I'm seeing all the love that he's getting in Angola. He's in South Africa, and he's getting massive amount of love. And the way that he was treated in Europe was disgusting. But to see him be a black man from the United States of African descent and be able to go back to the continent and be treated like a human by civilized African people, when we've been taught that Africa is primitive, that it's dangerous, don't go back, they have this, they have that, they don't want you, they don't like you. And to see an African American man with his stature go back to the motherland and be treated with so much respect. This is what our people fought for. This is what they fought for when they fought against Jim Crow and segregation. This is what the slave revolts were about. This is what it's always been about. It's to be able to go back home to a home that you've never been and be unapologetically black and not have to think about being black. Just being able to have your natural hair and your brown skin and not be judged and not be racially profiled and not be killed. I love the love that he is getting. And I love the love that all of my African American people are getting in the continent. And I know there's a lot of issues. I know there's a lot of things that need to be worked out. But I'm so proud. I'm so proud. And I love that for him. And I love that for all of my people that are over there. And I can't wait to hit the soil and experience it myself.
Why am I seeing grown-ass people crying on my For You page because they've just learned that Africa has buildings? Are you serious? I'm so sorry, but if you thought that Africa was all mud huts and lions in the year 2026, that is willful ignorance on your part, and I cannot defend you, sorry. Speed is doing like a tour of Africa or something like that, and the amount of people I've seen on my For You page shocked that Africa is a civilized continent. Continent, by the way, not country. Africa is a continent with 54 countries. It's the most genetically diverse continent in the entire world. And you thought not one of those 54 countries had skyscrapers. They didn't have cars. They were living in mud huts in all 54 of those countries. It's 2026 and you thought that? And you're crying? I understand. The West is a propaganda machine. They have fed us so many lies about Africa. We've all seen the adverts of the malnourished kids covered in flies and the women carrying water back to their villages. And yes, that is a reality for some Africans. But we've had the internet for 30 years now, and you never Googled it. You never thought to do your own research, not once. Okay. I see people from Africa all the time on this app trying to educate people that Africa is not all people living in mud huts in villages. They have cities, they have skyscrapers, they have cars, they have roads, they have everything. But people just aren't taking to it. How are you crying? How are you crying because you're finding out through Speed that Africa has buildings? Are you serious? If you made it to 2026 thinking that the entirety of Africa is still living in the Stone Age, that's not just because you fell for propaganda, it's because you didn't care enough to do your own research.
Sometimes I laugh because what they are saying, and everyone is confessing that, do you know what? We believe the press. We believe the media. Because they told us that Africans are very poor. It's a very poorest continent. But is it reality? Why is it that Western countries, you don't know about it? But thank God to IshowSpeed. The stereotype. Is it about stereotype? Always we talk about stereotype. Let's be honest. Western media spent decades showing Africa as poor, broken, and backwards. When Africa appears on TV, it's usually poverty, war, hunger, refugees camps. What they rarely show are modern cities, skyscrapers, highways, shopping malls, beautiful homes, mansions, middle class life. Let me tell you something. Each and every country, you've got poor and rich people. This is also happening in Africa. The rich are getting richer and richer. We've got even billionaires in Africa who have even bank accounts in Western countries. IshowSpeed enters Africa and changed the whole narrative. When IshowSpeed arrived in Africa, people expected chaos. Instead, they saw clean streets, modern buildings, expensive cars. Hey, we've got expensive cars. Happy, confident young people, busy cities. Speed's live stream showed real African life, unedited, unfiltered. And that's when the internet froze. As you can see, the internet up to now is freezing because a lot of people, they don't believe that what they see. They can't believe what they are seeing. The shock online. What is it all about? As you continue to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Social media exploded with comments like, I did not know Africa looked like this. You've heard the videos, and I'm going to play more videos. Why did nobody ever show us this? Why is it that they were showing us poor places? In villages, huts. And some of those huts, they are just there because we want people to know our history. I owe Africa an apology. Someone said that. Some Americans openly admitted they were misled. Exactly. That's why I forgive you people, because at the end of the day, you were misled. But come on, hang on. You should have gone online and check. Nowadays, we've got social media. You can go there on YouTube and try to be doing some research. Know about Africa cities. Just Google and say, does Africa have cities or life in Africa? What about middle class in Africa? Some were embarrassed by how wrong they have been. All because one steamer showed what mainstream media never does. Why this myth exists? So why do these stereotypes still exist? Because it's still there. Go in most of the coverages. You see that how they claim that Africa is poor. Africa is like this. Oh, we need charities. Oh, we need you to do less privileged. It's not everyone, because there are also Africans who have charities to donate, to help those less privileges. Africa is often shown, assumed struggle is all there is. But Africa is a continent of 54 countries, not one village. Exactly. It pains me when people say, oh, Africans, we are like this. Africans. I always say, please don't generalize. Africa has got 54 countries. It is one of the biggest continents. And we are all different. One Africa, different tribes, different cultures, you name it. The real Africa, do you want to know? Cities, luxury apartments, universities, tech hubs, billion-dollar businesses, world-class infrastructures. In Africa, is Africa perfect? No. But neither is America or Europe. Exactly. Africa is modern, growing, and full of opportunities. Why IshowSpeed's visit matters. IshowSpeed did not come with an agenda. He just turned on his camera. This is what we are advising a lot of you, content creators. Do something like that. Don't plan, just go there, switch on your camera and show people reality. No cornering. Hey. And that honesty did more of Africa's image than decades of documentaries. This is what the media does. Sometimes it all takes in showing the truth, reality, not lies. Because sometimes you go around these Western countries, they are telling you, no recording, no this, because what are they hiding? Because Everywhere you go, even here in London, you find on the street there are a lot of homeless people. We cannot hide those type of things. I've seen some content creators, YouTubers, you name it. They will target the worst place of a certain country and feel pain also. And they've got the others, the side of them which are happy. And they've got also the downside. Like each and every human being who was created by God in this world. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share.
I think IshowSpeed being in Africa is actually bigger than a lot of people think. Yeah, it's entertainment, yeah, it's funny, but something deeper is happening underneath all that energy. The moment says a lot about diaspora identity and global black connection and the parts of the internet that never make it into the conversation. First and foremost, it's great. You got a young black man, successful, one of the biggest streamers and YouTubers on the planet, showing genuine support, excitement. That matters a lot. Africa deserves to be seen as a place of creativity, talent, culture, excellence, and not just poverty, conflict, and extraction. Speed brings millions of young viewers who have never seen Africa like this. That shifts imagination, it shifts the narrative. Let's talk about something else I've been seeing in my DMs a lot. People saying African Americans fought alone and that their struggle was isolated and that there was no influence from Caribbean, from Africa. I'm actually dropping a rule about the Haitian Revolution, but it literally shaped the black world. People like Marcus Garvey built the largest black organization in modern history. Pan-Africanism came from the Caribbean and the African continent. Movements cross-pollinated, ideas traveled, and the Black Atlantic, as Paul Gilroy calls it, has always been connected. Yes, there are tensions. African Caribbeans, African Americans all have moments of misunderstanding. Some feel looked down upon, some feel erased, some feel disconnected. But the great thing that IshowSpeed is doing, whether he intended to or not, is reminding people that connection is still possible, solidarity is still possible, and love is still possible. This is what Stuart Hall meant when he said identity is a process, not a fixed thing. But here's the other side. Visibility is powerful, but it comes with responsibility. We've seen this before, Western celebrities landing in Africa and filming poverty like it's content. Speed has to be mindful and has to balance entertainment with respect, because Africa isn't some theme park. It's not a cinematic experience. So the question for all of us in the diaspora is this: how do we go home with love without recreating the exact patterns that hurt Africa in the first place? The answer is simple: respect. IshowSpeed in Africa is not just a trend, it reflects something much bigger. Young diaspora people are reconnecting. They're curious again. They're breaking the narrative that Africa and the diaspora are separate worlds. Paul Gilroy called it the Black Atlantic, a global conversation between Africa, Europe, the Caribbean and the Americas. From W.E.B. Du Bois to Garvey to Fanon to Mali, solidarity has always been the engine of our progress. And whether IshowSpeed knows it or not, he's just contributed to that.
If you watch Speed go to Africa and your biggest takeaway was that, oh my God, it's not just huts and mud, that's not awareness, buddy. That is straight ignorance. That image of Africa, it didn't come from nowhere. It came from what you were taught, what you never questioned, and what you were always comfortable believing.
You've heard everything. What has really touched you about this video, about this title, about Africa, about what Ishow has showed the world? Drop a comment as you continue to subscribe, like this video, comment and share to the other person so that they can see. That's why I've shown you more videos, but you can continue and watch more and more videos from TikTokers on TikTok. and even social media where they are showing a lot of videos about IshowSpeed, what is doing in Africa. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for your comments. Thank you very much for your subscription. And thank you very much for sharing with others. Watch this video from the beginning until the end. Thank you to all my subscribers, both returning and new subscribers, for your love and support to grow this channel. Continue watching videos and support this channel for more conversations like this one. Thank you. God bless you abundantly. Ciao, ciao. Bye.
I know you are living with my love. Yeah. On Yummy TV, the best show ever. We expose and we tell as it is. No fear, no bias whatsoever. Just the way it is done. Subscribe, like, and make sure you love. Hey, people love like I know. You are living with my love. Yeah. On Yummy TV, the best show ever. We expose and we tell as it is. No fear, no bias whatsoever. Just the way it is done. Subscribe, like, and make sure you